I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 My lady and I got my shine. Money in my pocket and we're feeling fine. Radio's loud and we're playing Sublime. I think it's gonna be a good day, my oh my. I can't believe I made it this far, it's a miracle. Floating in the clouds now, used to be miserable. Never looking back since I changed my ways. I'm on that good life tip today. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to go there with me, girl. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Baby, we can have it all. We can make love by the waterfalls. I'm living that good life after all. Yeah. La da da da, good life, sitting by the fire. La da day, good life, feeling that breeze.
What is going on, everybody? I hope you are having a great morning. My name is Bleeves. You're here for Breakfast with Bleeves, and we're here to talk about all that's going on in the crypto market. We got a whole bunch of news to get through, and oh my God, there's just so much going on. But you know what's not going on? Price action. The only thing that we see from price action right now is Bitcoin stuck at around 22.4 and Ethereum stuck in that 1560 range, and nothing seems to be moving one way or another. And it's all thanks to Gary Gensler, who came into chat again today. Look at that. Gary Gensler. It's all Gary Gensler's fault. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Richard Caldwell, good morning. Mr. P Crypto, good morning. Voltaholic in the house. Everybody should be voting by this point. Good morning. Justin W. in the house. Lysergic acid diethylamide is in the house. Cash Cats is here. Ben Fair in the house. Keyshots. Isabel is here. Ryo's here. Timsky, good morning. We're going to talk about that, as a matter of fact. I don't know about that, but I don't know how it's going to play out. But yeah, things are changing very rapidly. Jeff T's in the house. Good morning. Dalton's in the house. What's going on, my man? Mr. P Crypto. Morganator is here. Karen Waters is here. Greg M's in the house. Clark Brenneman in the house. Good morning. Gary Gensler's in the house. Shitting on crypto every step of the way. 46 Luco looking for the good life. Carlos Carbajal is in the house. Scottish Crypto's here. MDK 420. Thinking Forward. Steve O. Ghost. Richie's Plain Talk in the house. Lando. My pal Rissian is in the house. Ellis Jackson in the house. So guys, 2 days from now, or well, tomorrow, Jerome Powell is going to be speaking to Congress, and it's going to be interesting to see what he has to say. That's going to happen actually right as we end on the show broadcasting tomorrow. So Gary Gensler says the rules are clear. Yes, they are clear, and the rules are there's nothing written down. So the rules are so clear that you can't even read them because they're so clear. CEO 100 in the house. What is going on, my man? All right, let's get into the news. So first of all, the markets look like they're just kind of the same as crypto right now. Everything just seems to be idling kind of sideways. Doesn't seem to be any action one way or another. I do think that in the next 25 minutes, we're going to start to see some movement. Probably not sharply at first, but then I think they're going to be digesting any piece of news that they can get any which way to try to flip this market in one direction or another. As you can see right here, in the last hour, we got a little bit of a pump, nothing to write home about, but over the course of the days, just sideways action for the most part. Downward momentum for some. Altcoins not really holding up very well. The number one in the 24 hours, 4%. Number two was 3%. So there's obviously very little movement. And some of that movement came in the last hour. So We're still looking at a lot of pressure to the bottom. So we'll see how this all plays out. Now, number one thing, Bitcoin facing an inflection point, what analysts are saying. There's a bullish and a bearish case for Bitcoin. The Bitcoin price is currently at the inflection point. While some analysts are predicting another price drop towards 20, other analysts are currently talking about a buying opportunity. In this article, we've compiled the analyses of some of the most prominent analysts in crypto. One of the analysts is currently maintaining a bullish stance is Michael Vanderpop. In one of his latest tweets, the analyst writes that although Bitcoin is still in a slow market, he expects movements starting today as the indices also became volatile on Friday. Before moving back up, Vanderpop predicts another sweep of the lows for Bitcoin before the market can see buying support as a possible bounce play to 23,000. However, 21.5 is of key importance in this theory, is not to be invalidated. So what he's predicting, as you can see right here, is that we're going to retest, and let's go look at it over here on the chart. You see right around here, we're at this 25. We didn't exactly get to it, but what he's predicting is we're going to have this dump to this level, and then it's going to start taking off from there and start moving up from that spot. So let's remove that. A bullish argument for Bitcoin is also a huge amount of stablecoin deposits on exchanges. Stablecoin net inflows are currently reaching their highest levels this year. These stablecoins, aka dry powder, could serve as an extremely strong potential buying power in the market, as CryptoQuant data shows. According to analyst Rect Capital, Bitcoin is also on the verge of producing a bullish engulfing quarterly candle later this month. Historically, Bitcoin bullish engulfing quarterly candles have preceded strong upside. And if we go back and we look at the analysis that we did from 2019 to right now, then we look at the same thing and we see that Bitcoin is on the verge of having one of those big moves where we start to see this just massive sort of move to the upside. Now, the last one that we saw was 80% in short order. We're already at 20% from the beginning of the year. So we're probably looking at 20 more percent, maybe 40 more percent, something like that. Because each time it goes down just a little bit. So yeah, this is it gets a little crazy. So let's see what happens here. Now, the argument for the bearish case. Andrew Skew writes that the one-day chart structure and trend in this latest tweet, according to him, the weekly opening price will serve as an inflection point for a one-day breakout towards the weekly demand at 19,000. Otherwise, there could be a higher low, resulting also in a rise to 23,000. His prediction is therefore, sorry about my voice, guys. Another popular, we're in a chop zone, and what he's looking at is, this is where he's looking at it. And by the way, this is what our chart is right to here right now. So what he's predicting is move up here into this 23,000 range. No, I have no idea what this guy's predicting. Let's close that out. He's looking at a longer chart. So what he's looking at is he's putting us, I have no clue. This doesn't have any projection or analysis on it. That's what it is. Another popular anonymous analyst warns that the 30-day whale ratio moving average is hitting a new high, suggesting the whales are sending more Bitcoin to centralized exchanges, which fits with the current net flows. Since yesterday, nearly 5,000 net Bitcoin have streamed to centralized exchanges. The whale ratio, 30HMA, reached since a while at level 88%. Everything above 90 is extremely bearish and indicates a big sell pressure in the short term. However, stablecoin reserves up and whale ratio is declining again. First up, and more important, down afterwards to liquidate late shorts first. In my opinion, 22.8 first, and then 21.5 destination. Now, you're seeing some similarities between what these guys are saying. What they're saying basically is that we're going to test 21.5 down here, and that we're going to test 23 up here. So you're going to see a lot of volatility coming in. Right now, you're seeing a little bit of inflow coming back into the market. Now, we are using another indicator, by the way, dynamic linear regression channels. So really, it's just pointing the direction. It's looking for patterns in the charts. So you're going to see my charts get a little messed up over the next couple days as I try this out to see if it makes sense to me or not. I wanted to try it out and use it and see if it was any good. But so we'll see. We'll see how it plays out, because I was looking at this and basically this is just one big parallel channel, and I was looking for trends within it. And this thing is trying to follow those trend lines and figure out what it is that's going on. But anyway, Bitcoin, Ethereum technical analysis, volatility in Bitcoin. Ethereum remains high to start the week. And it's basically just saying that, what we're saying, like this, there's going to be a big move that's happening in the next. The RSI has collided with the floor at 44. That means that we're about to, let's go over here and you can check the RSI. So you can see here that the RSI is fairly low down here in the 40 range. Just shortly, not too long ago, it was down to 27 also. These ranges are pretty low. So, but we did have a crossover, by the way. We do currently have a crossover, even though it's not maintaining. We had a crossover from the signal line. So perhaps we've got some upward movement, or maybe this little green candle that we're looking at right now, that was the upward movement. So we'll see how that one goes. Also, the inactive address. There's an Ethereum inactive address that hasn't moved anything for 5 years, just moved 16 million worth of Ethereum. 2 million of that went to the Poloniex exchange, which means that somebody's looking to cash out quite a bit. 1,322 ETH was transferred to Poloniex. So we've got a big whale that's moving some money around, and that's usually not a great sign, especially when they're moving it to the exchange. Now, the best we can hope for is that perhaps excuse me. All right, guys. Karen Waters has gifted everybody with 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Karen. I appreciate you. You have to forgive my voice. I haven't been talking for a couple days, so woo. All right, give me 1 second here. There we go. All right. Cash Cats has become a member. Purple 303, Lunk 210, Renga Apes Club was gifted a membership, and Richard Brisson was gifted a membership from Karen Waters. Thank you so much, Karen. I appreciate that. You guys have no idea how much that really helps the cause here and helps me to continue to provide this stuff every single day. Always nice to get new memberships and new subscribers to the channel. Definitely a great thing. Yes, it's still going on, but no, we don't have any information. Excuse me. Anyway, so we've had this transfer over, and the bigger picture on the whole, participants seem to be staying away from the market for now. Net flows have seen no major in or outflow spike. Conventionally high values indicate increasing selling pressure. Now, what we've seen right here is, you got to think about this. The market by nature would want to have more people coming in, more people invest in it, and then it would move the market up, right? Bears are specifically selling right now to try to prevent this level from coming back. And this level is up here in this 1.032 trillion range. Now, it doesn't mean that they're specifically targeting this level. They're really just kind of targeting Bitcoin and holding and suppressing the price down. If you hold the price down and you suppress the price long enough, then you get people frustrated because they don't see any price action. And listen, any of you that have been invested in any token for any length of time will know, if you just hold on and you just create that position where you get those people that are jeeting, right? When you get those people that are just getting nervous and they don't see the price pumping, then they start dumping, and that affects the price, and that brings the price down. That gives them the opportunity. That gives them a huge opportunity to get a better price. And of course, that wrecks a whole lot of people along the way. $50 bomb from Richie's Plain Talk. Thank you. Whales dumping probability of 50 basis points. We need a positive catalyst soon. Well, I think we already have it, Richie. I really feel like what we're in is the death throes. And I'm going to zoom out here, and we're going to go back to this. Kind of is the spot right here. This is what it looks like. And I know that this, like, my chart looks like a disaster right now. I thought that, oh, you know what? Let me go look at a different chart. I cleaned this one off. All right. So this chart looks like a little easier to read, but let's remove a couple indicators for a little while. We're going to take this off. We're going to take these SMAs off, and we're just going to look at this way, right? And we see this downward move. We saw this, this was our little down move, and then we had this little pump, right? And this corresponds to 2019 right here. Excuse me. That corresponds to this little spot right here. We're literally seeing this pump, this dump. And if we go back over here, whoops, let's not do that. If we go back over here, then we're looking at the same thing over here. Looking at this dump, this pump, this pump. We're looking at literally the same pattern formed twice. And the last time that formed, then we went from 8,000 up to 13,000. That's a 60% jump from where we were. Now, this is right here. This is COVID. This is when everything went crazy with COVID. So consider that's not going to happen this time, or at least we don't know anything that's saying that's going to happen this time. But that would give me an indication that we're looking at, what is this, 40% increase maybe, or 50% increase to right here. Like, are we looking at 40,000? I doubt that. Let's say a 20% increase from here. 33,000, which is where we've been kind of look like a lot of people have been looking at this area right now as the next to move. And so I don't think that we're in this bad of a position. I believe that we're in a much better place than we were on that last time, even with the COVID and everything that's got people nervous. And God damn it, I did it again, didn't I? All right, so here it is right here, and here it is right here. So you can see here, there's two different spots. This one is 2022 or 2022-23 right now, and then this is 2019. This is where both of these things happened. So what you can do is just kind of get an idea of, well, this is a 72% increase. About this happened over here, 72% increase. So if we get a 40% increase, which is what would be expected or so over here, then we're talking about 35,000 Bitcoin. But if we get a 20% increase, which is more in line with the economy right now, then we're looking at more at 32,000, 33,000 as a final number. And remember, most of us that have been looking at this for a while, we're predicting like a $31,000 number. So you can see that I got it. Thank you. Rich's Plain Talk with a $10 bomb again. If SHIB is going to be showing off their metaverse in like 3 days, you would think Shibarium has to come out first. I think they will be released. And then I would think so too. I'm starting to get nervous here, and I think a lot of people are that maybe SHIB doesn't have anything to really show, and that they're just kind of uh, egging us along. You know, like I kind of rejected that at first, saying that obviously they're not going to just give us an unfunctional thing that doesn't work or anything like that, or that they haven't completed it when they're talking like they have completed it. But the more we get towards the end, the more it looks like I don't want to say that Saitoshi's fudding his own bag, so to speak, but he's not doing a lot of service to people by continuing to just withhold and not communicate effectively what is going on other than just wait. Like it seems a little bit, but you know what? When it's ready is always the best thing to say and do. So I would think that that's what you would want to do. However, it does have to be pointed out, and we do have to note, he's the one that said it would be released at specific times. He's the one that keeps doing all of the things that people are getting annoyed by. So it's not somebody else who's saying, hey, it's going to be released on this date. He's the one that's saying, it's going to be a heart-shaped box, which would indicate, and if you're in January and you're talking about heart-shaped box, then you're talking about February 14, right? And when you release a blog post and then you release a second blog post and you say, when the third blog post comes out, then so will Shibarium. Then you release a third blog post without Shibarium. Now you're just fudding people. Now you're just being a dick. Like, and it's time at some point to either come through with it or just tell people, listen, this is what's going on, and give it some more time if you need to. But so anyway, we'll move on. We'll go back to that because we got some SHIB stuff, and I got a SHIB video coming out today. But so you can see here that these are the same patterns that have emerged right now. Here's the funny thing. If we take this and we take this to the top, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do a bar pattern. If you take from here, assuming that's the spot, and then you take it all the way up to the top where we closed out, and then you take this and then you add it to there, then the question is, where does Bitcoin go in the next run? And look where it gives you 138, almost 150,000 in the next bull run. If you do the same thing over here on the day chart to right here, if we do that too, the overall market cap, and we take that up here, and then we take the overall market cap and we do the same thing with it, then we're talking about a $11 trillion market cap. So it's not going. So that doesn't work. We know there's, and listen, I would love to see an $11 trillion market cap as much as the next guy. But that's nonsense. The more likely culprit is going to be right in here in this 5 range, just based on what we've seen before and the amount of money in the market. And there's got to be some kind of bell curve to it of some sort. So, but let's move on because we actually do have Shiba Inu information coming out. Shiba Inu continues a downward trend despite 170 million SHIB burned in a week. Over the past week, there's been a significant amount of Shiba Inu burned via transactions. However, despite that, SHIB has continued in a downtrend, following in the same direction as the rest of the crypto market. SHIB has fallen from a high of 22.7 seen on February 27th, trading below 1,500 as of March 6th. The token hasn't made any significant move in the past 24 hours, despite the burns that have had the token place over the same period. Over the past 7 days, the SHIB army burning commitment has led to more than 170 million SHIB tokens being eliminated from the circulating supply. According to SHIB Burn, the Shiba Inu burn tracker, there have been a total of 170,718,939 SHIB tokens burned in the past 7 days across 59 transactions. The highest weekly burn, which happened the day SHIB initially began its current downward trend, via an unknown wallet burning 63 63.86 million tokens, accumulating the total SHIB burn that day to more than 85 million. So it's been a big week for burns. Following that, on Friday, the second highest weekly burn was recorded with a total of 43.19 million SHIB tokens burned that day. Out of the total SHIB burning on Friday, approximately 23 million SHIB were burned in just a single transaction. Days after that, the SHIB burn continued with a total of 24 million burned in the past 24 hours. So there's a lot of SHIB being burned, but there continues to be a downtrend. And what is going on? Well, it doesn't matter how much you burn. There has to be sentiment in the positive. You've got to fix this. Look, there's a problem here, and the problem is the product is not being released. The product that was promised is not coming to fruition, and that's frustrating some people, and that's making it very difficult for us to do anything else, because you need to have you got to have your product when you have your product. If you don't, people will sell. So but let's move on, keep going here, because there's a bunch of different things that happened over the last little while. First, Huobi is joining the BitTorrent chain's L2 blockchain ecosystem. So that's a pretty big deal. So BTTC is called the BitTorrent chain. The addition of Huobi will further promote the development and usage of decentralized application on-chain and enhance the exchange's own ecosystem. So Huobi has chosen to partner with BTTC. And then, not to be outdone, Kraken is on track to launch its own bank very soon, despite regulatory weird place. So Silvergate, there's a lot of people that are upset with Silvergate, what's going on with Silvergate, and Kraken is trying to, or attempting to, fill that void very quickly. And that right there is great for crypto overall. And finally, traders who pounced on Shiba Inu related altcoins are significantly outperforming investors in SHIB. Now, investors in one Shiba Inu related altcoin are now significantly outpacing those who hold SHIB. The analytics firm Into the Block says the majority of Bone Shiba Swap investors are currently in the money and enjoying profit. Let's see. There was another one over here. Oh, maybe I misread it. So this is all about SHIB, saying that SHIB investors, 56,370 Bone addresses are in the green, representing nearly 75% of all Bone Shiba Swap wallets. Only 14.91 are currently underwater, with the remaining 11.22% of Bone addresses are at break even. So 86% of people are either break even or in the money. Meanwhile, 30% of Shiba Inu holders are in profit, while nearly 65% are nursing losses. About 5.85% of all SHIB owners are breaking even. Think about that. That is absolutely crazy to consider. That is just an enormous number. Now, the Dow's up, by the way. We just got it. It was up by 40. It just dropped to 6. So there's a lot of volatility in the Dow Jones right now. In the meantime, we've pumped another, looks like $1 billion into the market. If we look at these hour candles, then we're starting to see a little bit of a move upwards. That's not a sustained one. So we'll see how this all plays out over a short time. But let's start off here with NGN up 16.3%. They are having a buy contest right now on NGN. Just crossed over the 30. Excuse me. They just crossed over the 50-day SMA. Man, I can't get. Just crossed over the 50-day SMA. Hold on one second. Damn. Just crossed over the 50-day SMA. You can see right here. And they're having a buy competition right now. Largest buy wins some rewards. It was mentioned by Gavin in the chat that, maybe we should start doing something about, anybody who participates, because, not everybody has one ETH to throw at a chart all the time. So you might be seeing some change up, and you might be seeing some additional competitions to give away some more NGN. So if you aren't already, at least consider taking a shot at it, because you might get yourself some free NGN in the process. Prior to the AI technology coming out, Hex is at 69.97, up 7.9%. Volt's up 3.4% at 16.17. Now, Volt has crossed back over the 50-day SMA, rejecting at 16.17. Odd place for the rejection. It was previously there, so we're going to move that bar down and just say that we finally kind of settled on a different position here. So we're going to need to get over this, get back into the support level, and then get over this 200 SMA, which will start to bring the 50-day, and then we start to get on the run. Now, guys, there is something big going on with Volt, and I'm a conspiracy theorist when it comes to what's going on with Volt. And I saw something the other day that on one specific date, that's when the first Shiba pump happened. And then that's when the big pump happened on Volt. Now, the next big pump on Shiba Inu was March 15. And we're almost at March 15. So I just have a feeling that something is going on that's going to take place and transpire right around the 15th. And it has to do with two centralized exchanges being whitelisted, I want to say. And I don't know what the exchanges are, but if we could go back in time and figure out what the parabolic move on Shiba Inu was at that time, March 15 of 2021, I think it was. If anybody knows what listing it was, then that might give us an inkling or an idea on where Volt is about to be listed next on one of those centralized exchanges. No, I'm not sure of that. I don't have anything to back that up. I have no data. I haven't talked to Voltoshi or anybody else about it. That's just my conspiracy. But I just have this feeling that, all this time we continue to bring up Shiba Inu when it's time to do things and make moves and compare how we're growing out the whole ecosystem, et cetera, et cetera. And it just strikes me that, maybe we're following an actual blueprint at this point, and, most of us are just not paying attention to it. Maybe we're just not seeing it. So I'll be interested to see what happens around the 15th of March, because I said yesterday that I think the 16th of March is when we see the all-time high on Volt, just because of that in itself. I have that feeling that there's something gigantic and something massive planned. And I think for those of you that are hodling, you're going to literally hold on for dear life at some point soon. Believes dragging a sick ass to work. As a matter of fact, I did call off today. So I am sitting home, which I've barely ever done in my life. So I did take the day off today, and my voice is still not recovered. So I'm gonna be chilling out at least for today. So anyway, as far as this goes, I just get this feeling, and I don't know what you guys think, but I really think that I'm onto something here, but I don't know. We'll see. Wiz 3805, no change. Again, we need pulse change for Wiz to start making a move. You can see even when you have like a little dip to the upside here, then there's still some room to grow and enhance all of this. Then you have Lillian 5708 waiting for version 2 to be launched so that we can start to get some movement again. There was they did have an AMA on I think it was Friday. I want to say Friday with Brad in Telegram, and it was a decent one. They've got a whole bunch of things that are working, and they're working diligently, by the way. That's to secure a medical blockchain and create an entire ecosystem that's not what you think Lillian is. And you can be upset with what happened, but they've already moved on. So and they do believe that this all this stuff comes back around, and that whole listing thing is not a dead stick. Yeah. MMAI 3523, Cato 1313, Terra 2 2658, 26 guys. 7.8K in transactions in Terra. Now, you make an argument, by the way, that I mean, Terra's doing themselves no favors right now with some of the things, some of the moves that have happened, right? And I do think that they're a little more fond of maybe moving this into their own ecosystem at some point. So I want to say that the new token, the new enhanced project, is probably going to get them on most other exchanges in short order because they are an exchange, et cetera, et cetera. And really, I mean, there's 12 people total shitting on it on Twitter, really. So, I mean, those guys are not really the rocket scientists of crypto. They're a bunch of degens that just like to cry a lot about tokens. So I don't put any validity into what they're saying about tokens and prices and stuff like that. But you got to do more than 7.8K in volume if you have a $2 million liquidity. You know what I mean? Like you have to show at least some sort of life. So we'll see how this plays out. But Bone is at $1.53. Decanect is at 6.6 cents. SHIB is down to 11.02. WAGMI 53.66. WAGMI's had a big collapse since the end of that big run up to 64.69 all-time high. Back under the 50-day SMA. Looks like it's converging down here, and we're heading back into that low territory. Unless we get an announcement. I mean, it's still we didn't get an announcement that says that the game's launching on a specific date. So, I don't know what we're waiting for or anything like that. Floki's at 41.62. Again, buy zone for Floki is they hit it very close at 38 just a little while ago, but I think it's at this 36 level down here. 36, 38 is probably the level, maybe 37.28. I'll probably, you know what? Let's move that up and say that buy zone is going to be at 37.28. But even if you hit that buy zone at 37.28, I would probably hedge on that just a little bit and put in maybe just a little bit and see if it doesn't go down more. Because again, Floki, when it runs hot, it runs super hot. But when it cools off, then it goes way down, as you can see right here. BRL trading at $1.50. Saitama trading at 19.06, coming way down. I guess that run is legitimately over. And then BET down 36%, 81.51. Had a nice little pump over the last couple days. Hasn't maintained it yet. Broke out to the downside. So we'll see what happens with that over the next little while. So I think that wraps us up. That gets us all caught up with the day. Ryo, Volt to Uranus. I get that feeling. I get the feeling that over the next couple days, we're going to start to see that. Now let's break into Crow just not having any kind of life. MX on the other hand, Jesus Christ. I mean, look at MX. It's just continuing to send. Since the day we partnered with it, right? It's like we created this. You know what I mean? Just kidding. It's up 1.8%, continues to move. Luna Classic broke down severely, of course, when everything else broke down. And now it's just it's just getting worn down and probably going to break down to this 1357 level if something doesn't happen very soon. I think it should be recognized and realized that on Luna Classic, when we talk about Luna Classic at this point, that there's probably a moment in time where it's all going to fit together. But now we're starting to feel that long-term impact. Remember, we were talking about, as a matter of fact, I could even tell you guys how far off base this is. I remember there was the Terra Rebels, and the Terra Rebels put out a roadmap. And we don't even update Q4. That's just ridiculous, right? So disable the market swap, which was done. Rework the underlying Cosmos Tendermint skeleton. upgrade to Vanilla Cosmos, upgrade to Tendermint, upgrade to CosmoWasm, assess the burn tax, begin work on a V2 algorithm, solidify the plan around the AFT, and then quarter one, which we're almost at the end of quarter one, okay? Testing validation security audit of the chain upgrade chain to parity with Luna V2, support dApps with CosmoWasm upgrade, and then repeg the AFT. Now, that would mean we got about 24 days or so before we would be repegged to the AFT or the USTC, and it doesn't look like that we have that. Like, it looks like it's going to take a lot longer. So some of this stuff has been working and going right along, because I do think that we're up to 1.1.0 on CosmoWasm. That was all just done recently. So I think we're still we're a little bit behind, but it's still working. So what we're experiencing now is that movement where, shit's just not fitting together. Now we do have, by the way, USTC is now starting to pump. So there might be some information starting to leak out about the repeg that we might be. I'll be looking for it today, and if there is, I'll produce some content on it, and we'll be talking about it. But Gala's up 7% on the day. Aave's up 2.2% on the day. Everybody else is kind of idling a little bit. XTZ. Yeah, so that's it. All right, guys, that's my time. I'm running out of voice here, so I'm gonna take off and see if I can't get right so that we can get this tomorrow. Guys, we are so close. I feel like we're 9 days away from when we start to see Volt just absolutely explode. Again, I'm following that Shiba Inu model, and I think that there's an explosion coming, and I think that we're going to get VoltiCard. We're going to get an exchange. We're going to get a second exchange. I think it's all just going to hit in the Ides of March. And then the next thing you know, we're going to be in a stratosphere. And I think that Voltoshi was offended by Floki getting so high. So I think that we have everything is being, look, if here's what I'm going to say. 2 centralized exchanges were whitelisted, right? Now, if the 2 exchanges were whitelisted, then that would mean that these 2 exchanges are big exchanges, number one, and number two, that they have that they're ready to launch, right? But they only launch when the token says, "Yeah, we're ready." So Voltoshi has got them holding on to launch at a specific time. So again, I'm feeling like there's something just gigantic that's just about to explode. And I think it's all coming and coalescing into this moment on March 15, where it's all about to get just absolutely bonkers and out of its mind crazy. So, with that being said, it's not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, giving me attention, watching. If you become a member of the channel, I appreciate you so much. Also, don't forget that if you don't become a member of the channel, there's one guy, one guy who was the 45th guy that you're going to be upsetting.
I'm about to drop some hugely powerful alpha. And that's what they call it. They call it alpha, believe me. Okay? And not many people know this, but alpha means that I know big things, strong things, powerful things. So here's the alpha, folks. If you want to be hugely rich like me, you got to join and subscribe to the BLEEVESCRYPTO YouTube channel. You got to become a member, because many people say, quite frankly, it's the strongest YouTube channel out there. It's fantastic. It's the best. So let me know what you think, folks. Funny Donald out.
And if you can't trust funny Donald Trump, who can you trust? The global media? Come on. All right, guys, we'll talk to you again soon.
I'm looking for the good life, sitting on top of the world. I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to go there with me, girl. I'm looking for the good life, good life.